interesting. You know what? Maybe I want to get into this little topic because it is something that people will be discussing a lot, like especially in like probably Reddit or something. I don't know. I don't go on Reddit a lot, and I'm not trash on Reddit. I've learned that a lot of my friends love Reddit.
I've recently converted to a Reddit person.
Wow.
Like I use Google for like the subsurface stuff,
Right.
but if I need to ask a question,
If
like
I have something specific, that's a Reddit thing.
that
That's
I need
so
somebody
specific.
like this AI is not understanding what I'm asking. And I'm like, do you need to turn the thing off on the thing? And then in there, do not turn the thing off until you did the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, thank you, Reddit. Because actually, and do you watch? I watch a lot of nerd shit. Linus Tech Tips.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. That'll help you with like computers and stuff like that, and all like the background nerd stuff. But he had a thing of where like, and it clicked onto me. It's like everything I type in, it's da 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 Reddit. Because I'd much rather you just go ahead and show me what Reddit has, and then your AI will tell me if you have anything else from credible sources.
That's why Google. I had a friend that would he would be like, "Hey, I'm on DuckDuckGo. I'm getting off of Google," which I hate. I rolled my eyes too. I don't use I didn't change to DuckDuckGo, but Google has fallen from grace so far. I am kind of just like, maybe I shouldn't use you anymore because you're becoming more of a hassle than a service for me. Like, anytime I look up anything, it's like the AI says, I don't know where you got that, though. For all you know, they're using, like, an Onion article mixed with something for real, and then you're effed.
Yeah, it's like that's why I always just go to the sources. But I don't like the AI stuff. They don't give me exactly what I want. Like the little questions they have with the drop-down menu, I prefer that. Like if you had the AI-generated questions and had them in there, and I clicked on if I wanted it, perfect. But outside of that, like nah, like I gotta read it. Like you're supposed to give me the answer, but then Google AI is just like, here's a paragraph that you can read from me explaining to you the question that you asked. And like I need you to say yes or no.
Exactly.
Like break it down, but no. According to, then just give me the fucking articles you got out there. Like, I don't know.
It was so much better before when it just was like, we think you mean this? Because it used to do a similar thing, but it wasn't like with this AI assistant. Where it would just have, here's a chunk that pops up at the top.
A lot of real estate.
Yeah. And it's like, I can learn. It's closer to what I want. And then also right under that chunk would be the website it came from. And now it has... Here's the AI thinks.
Gemini.
And here's a couple. Here's where it got it from. A couple websites. You know.
First one's a sponsored website. If I see one more fucking Amazon listed article for something I'm looking for that I know's not on Amazon,
I swear.
Fiddlesticks.
Literally. God dang it. Making me mad.
Yeah, it's making me mad.
Yeah. Oh, but so yes, I want to talk about this though. You have children, right?
Yes.
Is that public knowledge? Can I say that?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Two beautiful children.
Now let me ask you this though: how do you feel about sex scenes in movies?
I mean, as long as they're tastefully done. All right, here's my...
And what counts as tasteful?
That tasteful is then, like, I don't want you throwing sex in my face for the sake of sex. Like, I can tell whenever they're just like, oh, we're about to hit a sex scene, and they lay, oh, let me just bring up this, like, pillowy, bellopy stuff. Like, okay, I get it. I was a college kid that loved to see some titties. Specifically watched 2-star and below Netflix movies because we figured out, okay, we don't really want the story. We just want something wild, something crazy. And whenever they know you're getting bored, because they were like, we watched this movie too, they're just like 2-star and below, throw some titties up there. Just throw them up there. They'll keep watching to the end, and then we can kind of reveal the one thing that we only had planned in this movie, which is the end.
Right.
But God, yeah, no. But I mean, if it gets to a point of where like everybody's shipping them and everybody like by that point like, okay, it makes sense now. If you want to do like a little bit of, but if you're doing full on, like this is basically penetration, I'm just like, how long is this what do you want me to start like, playing with myself in the middle of the movie?
Really, literally though.
Because if you want to take me out of a movie, do that, because afterwards I'm just like, now I gotta wash my hands. I don't know. Everything smells like lotion.
Yeah, and at a certain point, you have to stop watching the movie and clean up.
Yes.
Have you seen the movie called Blue is the Warmest Color?
No.
It is a foreign French film. It's a lesbian movie.
Tu parles français?
What?
Never mind.
That is the closest to porn sex scene I've seen in a movie, like a real movie. But and something I don't think anybody would have noticed. Only I would have noticed. Not only I, but very few people would notice. Is like how much Foley work, like the sound stuff they put in after though.
Oh yeah.
Which I actually I thought I was of two minds. I was like, how gross is this? But also they're really like thinking about like even if it's as small as like just skin touches, just that.
Yeah.
It's like I was impressed, but I was also like, this is a lot. Every sound somebody has to think, and I'm just even thinking about like how long did the editor have to watch this sex scene?
As a person who had to edit Foley sounds specifically for class, a long time. Because like sometimes they get it right, sometimes it's still not right. And like it's not just that raw sound. You're like, okay, now I gotta go distort it. I gotta go do this and this and this, and then it's not the big tweaks. It's those little small incremental where you got like four people around. They put these headphones on. Like, is this what we're looking for? And like everybody kind of looks at each other, just like, I mean, it's just. Oh, like the back of my hair is kind of lifted, but I need them to stand up. I need them to stand. You go again, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's the mark. That's the mark.
Exactly.
And then you put it in, and you're just like, and then turn the volume all the way down because it's not supposed to be that poignant. And so it's just like slightly in the background for half a second. And you're like, we spent half a fucking day on that. I thought we were really going to use that.
Exactly. No. But I love it. I love going down to decibels and just fiddling. Like, I need this loud, but not too loud, because I need to hear me talk or whatever. It's annoying, but I also like that you can mess with that stuff.
Oh yeah,
because it's like, I could just do that little thing.
Command scroll. Yeah. Just one by one. Give me a single decibel and let me decide where that's at. Yeah. I went one too high. I gotta go cut that down a little bit.
I'm going to ask you a question that's going to annoy you, but it's related to the sex scene thing ish. Yes. David Lynch, you like him or not? Do you even know him?
Name doesn't ring a bell too much.
That is so funny to me.
Show me a picture. What is he in? What has he done?
Oh, you'll know him when you see him, I think. But here, I'll look him up. He did the 1984 Dune. Also, I'm probably gonna cut this out because I've talked about David Lynch to everyone. I've cut it out for each one. Let's
skip David Lynch.
Oh wait, no, wait. It's related though. It's related.
Okay.
So what I like about this guy, you probably see him, baby.
I need more photos than
that. I don't know. He's old now. He's an old guy. He directed a lot of things. He did Twin Peaks. Did you watch Twin Peaks? Have you heard of Twin Peaks?
Heard of it, didn't watch it.
Yeah, and everybody's done that. I have never been involved in it.
Slightly familiar.
I'm cutting to the point. The point is, what I like about his work, and I'm deep diving into his stuff right now. Probably my next director video is going to be about him because he has 10 movies. I have 2 left. But what I love about his movies is there is a sexual element for most of them. Mm-hmm. And I also think they're not gratuitous. But I'm also like, this is like, it feels more like they're like you were talking about, like some sex scenes just sort of coming out of nowhere, just not, maybe not even feeling like the chemistry between the two people doing it. What I love about his movies is they really do play with like sexual tension and like, or even what I also like, and this is why one of my biggest points towards sex scenes in movies in general is like, what does it mean for one character to have sex with that other character? Yes. And how does that change their lives for better or worse for whatever thousands of reasons? That stuff I really like, because I also like it in Twin Peaks. There are little arcs of spots where it's like, ooh, well, this person kind of likes both these people, and you kind of want them to be with both of them, but you also know that they don't want to do all that or that stuff. Like just like not just sex, but also the sexual dynamics. Yeah. Which I think we've lost some of that in movies these days.
Yeah. Like I'm almost to the point of where I feel like if you're going to do a sex scene, make it like avant-garde-ish if you want to go that hard route, because then it's just like leave some like I love it when they're just like, oh, Tua gets there, they hit the wall, kind of like fade to black, and you're and then you come back to something. But like if you do a sex scene, I hate that they're perfect. I absolutely hate that they're perfect. I want it to be as like slightly, I want it to be like normal. I want people to kind of look and be like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, this isn't like music, all that shit. Like, you have music in the background, be like some top 40s, and like have them be like, okay, you want to like, all right, wait up. Like, I think the last good one I can be like, yeah, I remember that one. I did not mind it. It was like Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Really? Interesting.
It started out, you knew what it was about. You didn't know it was going to be in there. You kind of knew it was going to be in there. But each of the scenes had a purpose.
Right.
It was like a pivotal, like, okay, we made a remark about this guy, and this is what he does. And, like, it's a part of the thing. These two are about to do it for the first time. We're showing you it because it was awkward. It was kind of a little bit disheveled.
And didn't look good on camera.
It didn't look good, but it fit the people who they were in the situation. They're two messy people trying to get together for reasons in which they both feel like, we may not need to do this. And then, like, the people that were in there, like, filming it was just like, damn.
They
Like,
could feel it. They could feel like...
That's that, but I can't look away. Like, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, and it's funny, did you watch my Kevin Smith video? Good, I'm glad you didn't, because that means you brought that up organically. We talked about Zack and Mary Make a Porno, and one of my favorite bits in that movie is the poop scene. Yeah.
And that's a good.
What I love about that one is that one also has a setup and payoff, because she's like, I'm constipated, and it'll help. And
there were jokes made inside of it where you're just like, okay, it is funnier that I see it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can get an erection without touching it. Like, yeah.
I like that movie a little bit, but it's probably one of my least favorite Kevin Smith movies. I'm sorry, don't hate me.
I mean, that's possible.
But yeah, I don't know. And also now they have, and I think it's more, I feel like a lot of people just want just the sex stuff, which is, I mean, it's fine, but I want more of like the narrative tension that comes with it all. And I feel like right now, one of the biggest issues is like intimacy coordinators, which I think is fine. I think.
I mean,
you don't think so?
I feel like if you need it, I respect like the idea of somebody being there to make sure everybody's comfortable, but in the process of acting and filming and being a director, I do feel like those two people should already have that understanding.
Right.
Going in. Like, that should be a part of the process. And be like, hey, this is your scene. This is going to be your person. We need to work with y'all together. Kind of like, you get to learn about them. They get to learn about you. Y'all create this bond. And like, yeah, there needs to be somebody there in case something happens. But I don't think there needs to be somebody there to be kind of like direct anybody in a certain way.
That is true. Yeah. I agree. I'm of two minds. Because I agree with that, yes. I also think, you know, back to what we were talking about with the editing thing. It's like, I think what the intimacy coordinator is there for is really just being like, talking to the director, like, well, what frames, like, I think they're that minute, like, what frames do you need? And then they talk to the actors of like, what are you comfortable with? And also, like, I think they basically are just trying to be like, how can we do this while also doing as little sexual things as possible in a way. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, I'm of two minds. Like, I could see it being like a big inconvenience for literally everybody. But I don't know. I do think it is something that does need, like, the only reason it exists is because those conversations, I guess, weren't being had before, or not enough.
And that's where my problem stems from. Because I feel like as a person that would be directing, I'm already going to make sure that, like, I'm not going to put somebody in a position and be like, all right, y'all just start going at it. No, I've already thought about what this movie's going to be. Most of the times, if you give me a sheet of paper, I can go through and write down the cuts and the edits and what it's supposed to be like. Nobody's just going to walk in there and be like, well, I kind of want to see what angles y'all get. It's like, no, I'm going to want you in this position. I'm going to want you in this position. I'm going to want you in this position because it was written out beforehand.
Right.
If somebody's right out in the intersect scene, then why does that need to be there?
You know what? Good point. Jeez Louise.
It's just it's somebody's job to do that, and should like it's not. Movies aren't just. I used to be like, I'm just gonna walk in here, I'm gonna film.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to the point of where I can do that now because I know as an editor what I can do to save certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But as like walking in, making a movie that you planned on, and you're just gonna like, yeah, I can't. That's not a movie. That's where I get frustrated with movies because that's where you make mistakes. And that's where I'm just like, this whole plot didn't connect. It seems like you just threw this in there because you needed this in there.
Exactly. And even beyond, like, it should make sense in the writing. It should almost, even if they did just put the word sex scene, whatever came before should help you and mentally, like, inform you, like, what that sex scene is going to mean for the story overall. And that should hopefully direct on how you're going to direct it. Like, if it's, like if one character for some reason might feel bad about it, maybe you wouldn't make it look all super duper sexy and like just get everything. Or you know what I mean? Like you'll just get what you need to convey that emotion or whatever.
Yeah.
And if they're just put in, and then a sex scene happens and it comes out of nowhere, it's like, well, was it like if you take it out? If nothing happens? Then maybe it didn't need to be there at all.
Maybe it's just you're self-serving yourself for a need that you're kind of putting on other people.
Exactly, and also, and I think if you listen to like any sex, which I don't listen to a bunch of sex therapist podcasts, but I feel like I've heard this before from like I don't know a podcast maybe where they brought on a sex therapist. I don't know, but like they'll say like sex is about power a lot of the time, and if you were going to get more minute into like what's happening like during the sex, then I think that power dynamic should be displayed. You should see like which one of them like has the power in the scene, or if the power dynamic shifts, that should be visually demonstrated or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. That's just why I thought about sex scenes. That's probably going to be a whole little clip in itself because. There's so much drama about it online.
It's so like I said, I'm one of those. Like I said, because I have acted and I have been behind the camera and behind the different spots in there, and it's just one of those things where people are people, and I mean, a lot of the times the actors will kind of partner off by themselves because they're running lines, they're feeling those feelings that's intended for the characters. Sometimes some people way more than others. And they already kind of be like, okay, and more than likely they're going to be talking about it. So if I were to do a sex scene in one of mine, like I would have to have it, like I would prefer to shoot from beginning to end, but shooting schedules are all the way around. I would prefer them to kind of build that whole thing up, and them in their heads like, hey, like you see here on cartoons, them talk about Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 15, like the kiss scene, like that's the big scene. The whole time they're thinking about it because it's like, okay, this is definitely something that's going to stick out.
Right.
And so they should have an idea of what they kind of are comfortable with and talked about and what their characters can do. Because I don't think that you should be putting that much direction behind it.
Right.
Like you can be like, hey, they're doing this, you're doing this. That's why I say position and angle. But sometimes you gotta let your characters kind of take a hold of themselves.
Right.
And if you're not working with scumbags, like you probably just need a psychiatrist on set anyways.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, but like, yes. Okay, so I think I just talked myself into the other. Yes, an intimate coordinator should be there because not everybody's acts in good spirits.
Right, exactly. And also, like, maybe sometimes the actors don't get along. Then that's another thing.
And that right there should probably be a problem in casting if you know you have that coming up.
Right.
Because you can fake it, but I mean, how much can you fake it?
Exactly, right.